everyone, and welcome to a deep dive, really tailored for you, those intrigued by effective leadership.
It's such a crucial skill, isn't it? Regardless of your field.
Totally. And we're really excited to be delving into this article, Sechs Grundsätze wirksamer Führung.
6 principles of effective leadership for our English listeners.
Right, by Dr. Matthias HETTL. He's a leadership consultant, and he draws a lot from Professor Dr. Fredman Malik. Malik's work is foundational to this.
Definitely. I mean, Malik practically wrote the book on management.
Exactly. So whether you're managing a team right now or just want to, increase your own influence, this is going to be good.
Yeah, HETTL really translates theory into practice, which is so valuable.
For sure. Okay, so principle number 1, result orientation. Imagine, being in a maze, but you don't even know the goal. You just be wandering, right?
Lost.
Right. So HETTL's saying effective leadership starts with knowing your goals, where you're going, how you'll measure if you got there.
That clarity from day one is essential. He ties it back to Malik's question, what are you paid for? Sounds simple, but
It's huge EE, though.
it is. Teams lose sight of that all the time in the weeds of daily tasks.
And that sense of purpose, that's HETTL's second principle, contribution to the whole. Not just hitting targets, but how your work contributes to something bigger.
Yes. It's that intrinsic motivation piece. He even quotes a Viktor Frankl in this, meaningful action generates joy.
Oh, I like that.
Right. Think of companies like, say, Patagonia. Their environmental focus, that's not just marketing, it's in their culture. And that's motivating for employees.
Yeah, you can feel that energy, I bet. Okay, so we've got our destination, clear goals, and our fuel, that sense of purpose. Now, what about actually navigating the road? HETTL's third principle is focus on the essential. Have you heard of the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule?
Oh, absolutely.
So it's that idea that 80% of our results come from 20% of our efforts.
Roughly speaking, yeah. HETTL's saying effective leaders, they master identifying that crucial 20%, the stuff that really aligns with the goals.
Makes you think, what are our biggest time wasters? Things we do that don't move the needle much.
HETTL would say, cut them out, which easier said than done sometimes.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so this next principle, I love this one. It kind of flips the script. HETTL's fourth principle is strengthen strengths. So not getting stuck fixing weaknesses, but what if we focused on what people are already good at?
Right. It's a much more, energizing way to lead, I think. Instead of you need to fix this and this, it's like, okay, you rock at that, let's use it.
Totally. And doesn't that play into the intrinsic motivation we were talking about, when you feel valued for what you're good at?
Oh, absolutely. Confidence goes up, creativity. People take more risks when they're playing to their strengths. It's like instead of pruning a plant down to just survive, you're helping it thrive.
I like that visual.
Yeah.
Okay, and then HETTL gets into trust, his fifth principle, which got to be important for any team, right?
Oh, huge EE. And he builds on Malik's work here, too, which is interesting because it's not just blind trust, right?
Yeah, there's got to be some structure to it.
Exactly. HETTL says it's about clear expectations, boundaries, even consequences sometimes.
It's like trust, but verify almost.
Right. True trust needs that framework of accountability. Think of a sports team, any sport. Everyone knows the rules, the consequences for breaking them, and what their own role is supposed to be.
Okay, I'm with you.
So with that shared understanding, then they can perform their best because they can rely on each other.
That's a good analogy. It's like trust isn't this magical thing. It's got to be built, right?
Yeah. Cultivated, sometimes repaired if it's broken. Communication is key. Feedback, respect for each other. HETTL stresses all that.
And doesn't that loop back to psychological safety, which we've talked about before? If you don't trust your team, you're not going to feel safe speaking up, sharing ideas.
100%. Innovation dies in that environment. Trust is the bedrock.
And so we get to HETTL's Al-Ast principle, the one he says can make or break a leader. Ready for it. It's practice a positive attitude.
Sounds kind of cheesy, right?
I know. But don't worry, this isn't about just, slapping on a smile and pretending problems don't exist.
Definitely not. HETTL's not advocating for, burying your head in the sand.
Right. It's more about, I think, how you approach leadership and, honestly, life with that solutions-focused mindset.
Yeah. Setbacks happen, that's guaranteed. But they don't have to be defeats.
It's that whole, the glass is half full, not half empty kind of thing.
Exactly. And a positive attitude, it can be contagious. It's not just the leader, it affects the whole team.
Oh, yeah. Energy is contagious for sure. And you get that upward spiral, right? Like positivity breeds more positivity.
100%. And doesn't that tie back to what we were saying about contribution to the whole?
Yeah.
If you've got that strong sense of purpose, those little bumps along the way,
They don't seem so big anymore.
because you know why you're doing it. It's not just about that one task, it's the bigger picture.
Love it. Okay, so wrapping up here, we've gone deep on HETTL's 6 principles of effective leadership. And I hope it's clear that these aren't just ideas, they're things you can actually use.
Right. Whether you're formally leading a team or just working on a project, your own personal goals, it's all relevant.
Totally. And don't feel like you have to tackle all 6 at once. Like pick one that speaks to you right now. Maybe strengthen strengths, or that focus on the essential.
Yeah, try it out this week. See what changes. You might be surprised.
And if you want to keep learning, I mean, Dr. HETTL's not the only voice out there. Maybe check out some other leadership experts, or even, like, find a mentor.
Oh, a mentor can be huge.
Totally. There's always more to learn.
Always.
Well, on that note, I think we'll wrap up this deep dive. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep leading with purpose.